Music fans, it is that time on the internets when we talk new music. I'm Ruben Dominguez. This is Quinn Bishop. We're at Cactus Music headquarters. Look at this man. He has a list.
Gotta have notes.
He's got his notes. I like where we're starting today.
I don't want to misinform
No, exactly right.
about the latest releases.
We could get sued.
Horrible.
We could get sued.
The
FCC could
litigious
pull our license.
And you wouldn't want to get sued by these guys.
Negative.
You got to think they got a pretty good attorney. Maybe. We're gonna kick it off rocking. We're gonna start hard rocking here. Brand new album from Slipknot. This album is called The End for Now. And of course, we've been talking about their reissues, which have been on vinyl a long time, expanded editions. It all leads up to this. This is the new studio record from these guys. And, again, charging out of the pandemic, hitting the road, working hard. It's been a while, and fans are going nuts, ready for it.
Yeah, and not only that, but Corey Taylor I caught an interview with him recently because the end so far, right?
Yeah.
The last song is called Finale. So there's this. Is this the end of Slipknot? That's what is. You guys. Most of them have. Well, Corey's got another project, obviously. Sure. So are they hanging it up or whatever? So that's going to be a little. That's been a little bit of the chatter. But I've heard some of it, and it's everything you love about Slipknot. They just do what they do.
They're not going to disappoint.
They do what they do, man. I'd love to hear this whole thing.
And you got to think, though, even if they're teasing you that they're going to go away, that's a cash
cow, baby. That's a cash cow. That is a cat. In these troubled economic times, not the time.
And really, at this point, think about this. At this point, they're a classic rock band. They're a heritage band. They can do this every 5 years. And
absolutely.
Biggest ATM machine.
They can do residencies.
Yeah.
A la Harry Styles.
7 nights in a row.
Limited neon yellow vinyl. All right.
Just for the indies. And this one is, we got 2 yellow vinyls in a row.
Let's do it.
I just said vinyls. I hate that.
Never say vinyls, kids. That's how you know that you are a record store imposter.
The plural of vinyl.
Yes. Go.
This is on limited edition yellow vinyl, and this is the brand new studio record from the Pixies. Yes. And let me tell you, I've been I think they got off to a bad launch with their reunion records.
Phones are ringing already.
They're ringing.
People want that Slipknot record.
They did for the first album, they did reunion record. They did 3 EPs, and then just packaged them all together with a record. It didn't work, and I think it just kind of, the next record was better. This is way better.
Thank God.
Artwork is great. It's funny. It's what
Pixies.
you want to hear from them. It's a bunch of clever tempo changes and stuff like that. I think it's a fun record. First listen, I'm like, I like this.
Love this, man.
Good to have him back.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. All right, let's rock and roll.
Keeping the rock and going. This is the Dead Daisies, and for those that you don't know, this is Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, great vocalist bass player from Trapeze and Deep Purple Mach 3. It's kind of a super group, guys that have been in other bands, but this is their 6th album, and these guys are, if you're looking for something straight ahead, hard rock, classic rock, heavy, but not metal, and you think, man, there's nothing out there for me. Check these guys out. They are really connecting with a lot of fans. They've got a huge fan base. Glenn still sings, is great as ever. Highly recommended.
Right on, man. All right.
Can you stand some more rock? Can you stand it?
Let there be rock. How about that?
Brand new Cult record. And this one is called Under the Midnight Sun. They were just here the other night.
Friday night.
Heard it was a good show. I think they've got kind of the same vibe we were talking about with Slipknot, where they could do a record every 5 or 6 years. Tour. People are always happy to see them. You're probably going to hear the old hits, but the trick with that, if you're a heritage act like that, you just don't want to. You want to make a record that will stand with your previous work.
Exactly.
Not embarrass you.
Yeah. The artwork is interesting.
Cool.
I wonder what the meaning is.
I have no idea. I probably could have researched that prior to.
I don't know.
We only get
30 minutes. We only have 30 minutes.
We're looking. Maybe they'll expand us at some point. Okay. Now we're going to shift to some indie folky kind of stuff right here. This is the new album from Bonny, like Horseman, and this is kind of a It's kind of a super group of sorts. Everybody's in different. Well, probably the most noteworthy musician is a nice Mitchell that wrote Hadestown, and she's
Okay.
she's
I love
folky.
this.
But this is a cool record. Their previous record was really cool. Connected with a bunch of people. This is Rolling Golden Holy. I like the title.
I do too.
Yeah, it's cool. But the artwork's cool.
It's very
And
it's like a whiskey barrel or
but
something.
anyway, that.
Oh, here we go. Josh Kaufman, Eric Johnson, Anais Mitchell. Okay.
On any store exclusive frosted
blue vinyl people.
But their previous record sold for a long time steadily and connected with a bunch of people. So I think this is going to do really well
Cool.
out of the gate. I'm glad these guys are back. Broken Bells,
Mhm.
and this is James Mercer from the Shins and Danger Mouse. And
cool
this
artwork.
is their fourth record, I believe.
Sounds about right. I
Yeah.
didn't get to this one.
I like all those records. think they have a very, obviously, him Danger Mouse as a producer has a
Sure.
very distinct, knob-twiddling sound. Like, I think most records that he's involved with, you can tell that he's involved with them.
Kind of
And
his
James-
signature.
Yeah, and James Mercer's voice is fantastic. The Heavy Unique sound, I'm really looking
I
forward
will
to
agree with you on his voice, but I was never a Shins. I just didn't get it.
First couple of records are great, and then my take on the Shins is, he pulls the classic move as the signature lead singer and gets rid of the rest of the band. And guess what? The records aren't as good.
There you go.
But his voice is fantastic, and this is. They had some big hits too.
Yeah, they did.
They had some big hits.
Yeah, they
and, and songs featured. I felt like they were one of those bands that constantly had syncs in film and
Yep.
TV and commercials and
Yep.
stuff. So I think you can expect more of that. All right, let's talk about some jazz records. Right here, there's a brand new Keith Jarrett record. This is the Bordeaux concert. I think this was planned release prior to the pandemic. Really not much to look at here graphically, but live 2016 in Bordeaux, obviously. I think his solo piano, what's noteworthy about this record is, his classic record that comes in every box of records is the Cologne concert. And this is supposed to be in keeping with that. So I think fans that are, he's made a lot of records. So,
Yeah.
But this is supposedly in keeping with his greatest solo work. So
Now I want a glass of wine.
yeah, there you go. Next on the jazz train here, Bill Evans, the saxophonist, not the pianist, because the pianist doesn't make records anymore. He's sadly no longer with us. But Bill Evans and Robben Ford, along with Derek, great.
Yes, sir.
And Robben Ford is a fantastic guitar. He's on a mountain of records, a session guy. You own records that he plays on. He's one of the most versatile guys. He can play anything. But this is a really kind of a jazz rock record. I think it's really kind of takes you back to the kind of fusion-y.
And he
Not
produces
that it's
the
a
album.
fusion, not that it's a fusion record, but as far as like jazz and rock together, you heard a lot of that in the late 70s. This is kind of in keeping with that, and people really dig. This is our second record together, and it's already getting good reviews, and I
Nice.
expect it's going to do well.
I love it. That's
And Daryl Jones.
Daryl Jones. Yeah,
Daryl
there
Jones.
it is. Daryl Jones is
Stones
on it,
bass
and
player.
Keith
How cool
Carlock.
is he,
Keith
man?
Carlock. Monster.
Is he? I don't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't,
Yeah,
I
he
don't.
is.
I don't know him.
He's
by
terrifying.
name.
Terrifying.
Terrifying. I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh, absolutely.
That name, that word when describing musicians is very effective. Oh.
It's true. I mean, it's true.
I like it. We got some blues for you.
Okay.
Shemekia Copeland, she is Johnny Copeland's daughter. She has really emerged as one of the. Now she's been recording for 20 years, so you can't say best young blues artist, but really kind of filled the shoes left by her predecessors. And this album features the great Sonny Landreth and Cedric Burnside on guitar. She's got a great voice, big belter.
Dude, this is a murderer's row.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on this
Of
record.
people on here. Oh my God.
And she's on the venerable Alligator label out of Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and every record tops the blues chart that she releases, and she's terrific live. Plays a lot of festivals. Go see her.
That's a good one.
Check her out.
Mr. Sunlander.
Next up, the return of Ben Harper, and it has been
It's been a while, man.
It's been a long time. His previous records. He had an instrumental record and then a blues record that he did with Charlie Musselwhite playing harmonica. This is his first solo record of sorts in many years, and the sticker says it's fearlessly and immensely personal. What I heard from it is definitely, I think people that like him, what I like about him is he does an excellent job of capturing that vibe and sound of early 70s soul records. This is no different.
I love his voice.
Yeah, he's great.
I love
singer,
his voice.
Great singer, and it's
and
this record's
multi-instrumentalist.
Can play anything.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this record is all about family. Obviously a picture of him and his dad on the cover. And do you notice this coming out of the pandemic? There's all these really kind of family-focused, legacy type records where people connecting music with their family.
They were
very cool.
Locked in the house for months. So start writing songs about your family.
Okay, this is the last of our brand new records, and this is Bobby Wier and the Wolf Brothers.
Nice.
And so they released a collection live in Colorado last year. This is volume 2. You get some covers. You get a Merle Haggard cover. You get a Marvin Gaye cover. The Dead were always known for having a great list of tunes by other people. And then you get a couple of Dead songs. You get Ripple and I believe Broke Down Palace. Yeah. So, this is not a big band. It's a 4-piece band. Don Was is in the band.
Don Was is in the band. And, Weir's like, the guy never takes a break.
No, he's always working.
He's either touring or recording.
Yeah, and there's stuff. If you're like an audiophile, like super nerd gear, studio gear nerd, there's all kinds of footage of him touring his studio. Like he developed proprietary technology and the speakers and how everything's wired together. He's a pretty
brilliant cat.
And the always popular reissue program.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Part of our program here. Let's kick it off. One of my favorite records of all time, the Kinks, Muswell Hilbillies.
Yes.
And this is from '71. This is really after they had kind of
closed the door on that early Kinks sound.
And they were kind of nothing in the States at this point. And this record kind of helped build them back. Title track, Muswell Hilbillies. 20th Century Man is probably the one track you might know from radio. This record always had kind of a muddy, murky sound, and I haven't heard the remastering yet, but it's supposed to sound great. I think this is actually one of their quiet masterpieces. This is a terrific record. And look at these pants on the exquisite Mr. John Gosling, the keyboard player on the back. Look at those pants.
I dig the shoes.
Along with the bowl, that's like bowling shoes. I mean,
that's
a statement. When we finally get a wardrobe budget, we may have to.
I think there was a picture or a poster or something. It might have been in like Hit Parader or Cream or something, but it was a full-length shot. And I don't know if you remember this. Eddie Van Halen's holding a guitar and he's wearing bowling shoes.
Yeah.
And bowling alleys across the country, people were stealing the shoes.
I had bowling shoes and I had bowling shoes and there was I think there was like a teen movie, like a John Hughes movie or something, where the character wearing bowling.
It could have been, yeah. So there you go.
It's all bowling.
Bowling.
Okay, we've talked about the Run Out Groove label before on this program, and that is where they do limited edition releases. They take orders in advance. They press as many as they have orders for, and then that's it. And this is a surprise one because I think this has a life beyond the initial Run Out Groove. This is the Super Deluxe vinyl box set of Stone Temple Pilots' core album, the big one, the Big Kahuna, their initial record. And this you get demos, you get a live show. This is basically the content that was on the Super Deluxe DVD. They just made it on LPs. This is sanctioned by the label. It's going to best possible sound quality. 4 LP Deluxe box set.
If you want to do something fun, go back and listen to the first 2 records. Put on some headphones and just concentrate on the kind of the interplay that the DeLeo brothers have.
No, I'm aware. That's actually the appeal of the band.
And it's so, they're so, well, they've been playing together since they were, there's like this almost one organism kind of sound.
Locked in.
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah.
Locked in.
Yeah. I missed all of that when it came out. I was like, just that kind of sound and everything. But when you go back and dig in, Great stuff.
It always, you know, and
Great
that's the thing, like music that really connects with people on a big level. There's always some magic in there that's
Or else we wouldn't have had that effect.
Yeah, or it's just like everything else. We have a jazz reissue here. This is the futuristic sounds of Sun Ra. This cover is so cool. Love this cover. This record is noteworthy because it's really regarded as one of his finest records. It's the first record that the orchestra recorded in New York City. Originally released on the Savoy label and available again with remastered quality sound. And
this is one of those artists that, unless you are a jazz fan, like people that don't know anything about jazz have heard Miles Davis, have heard the word.
Correct.
They might even be able to tell you that he played trumpet, you know. But Sun Ra is one of those guys that, for all his genius and influence, just is not really well known outside of that small circle.
And I think it's because there's so many records, and you know, a lot of it is what people would describe as difficult music. You know, it is the sound of now there's
and always experimental and looking for
improvisational. Yes. But you do have these moments that are like big sweeping kind of crescendo moments. But by and large, it can sound like, you know, cats walking around on the piano.
Right, and that'll turn people off immediately. But yeah, I'm just saying. But still.
So there you go.
Kind of a genius.
That's your knowledgeable jazz recommendation assessment there. Cats walking on the piano.
There you go.
Okay, this is one of my favorite albums ever by one of my favorite artists ever.
Great.
We talk about him on
Monster.
here. Hendrix's favorite guitar player.
The late great.
Rory Gallagher, and this is the record. Whenever anybody says, "Oh, you like that good? What record should I get?" This is the record. Deuce, expanded to include demos and live cuts. There's a big CD box set that has a ton of content. They really tried to in order to make it probably affordable as well as digestible. The deluxe LP kind of distills all the finest stuff from the multi-CD box set onto three big old heavy LPs.
Dense.
But this is, you know, man, if you love Zeppelin, you love Led Zeppelin, and you don't, and you know, you're always looking for something that kind of has that vibe that's super cool. This is one of the best power trios of 70s rock, and then his playing is just forget about it.
That's
so
crazy.
Great. That's
nuts. Love it.
Okay, back to the modern era. Man, we should have done this, and I don't know why I did this.
Together.
We should have done that with the STP, right?
We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in the mix, people. So this record had a brief issue on vinyl when it first came out.
Yeah.
It got reissued by the European label Music on Vinyl, sold out immediately, and we'd sold a couple of copies for in excess of $300. This is finally available again in the States.
Wow.
This is Alice in Chains Dirt. I don't know why it took so long for this thing to get back out there, but you can buy this in your record store again, including Cactus Music.
I'm seeing them.
I'm really a go-to record of that era, one of the defining,
you
know, heavy rock records from that era. And it's kooky. It hasn't been available.
Love it. Sean Kinney. I always forget his name.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, people know every song on that record.
Oh, absolutely. It's a monster album.
Couldn't get away from it.
Monster
Okay.
album.
So we did the CD a while back. I put this on the finally on vinyl list just because of the crazy cool
what is happening
cover. This is Edgar Winter's.
That is nuts.
My Brother Johnny. This is lenticular, baby, right here.
Lenticular, people. Look at that. Oh, that's a good one.
Johnny knowing Edgar. Johnny knowing Edgar.
What do you think?
Oh, it's what how'd you describe it?
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
For different reasons, completely different reasons. Wow.
Yeah, so long-awaited tribute to his brother. Got great reviews. Finally available on LP.
That's great.
Yeah, people have been asking for it. So
Glenn Davis know about this?
He does now.
He's been on a little bit of an Edgar Winter tip lately.
He loves Johnny. He told me Johnny's one of his absolute go-to touchstone.
He's an interesting cat.
Artist. Yeah,
interesting cat.
Okay, we're gonna delve into some RSD Essentials, RSD Essential
Record Store Day, people.
And these are Record Store Day releases that are scheduled throughout the year.
Yeah.
You know, there is going to be a Black Friday Record Store Day, but for right now, you can come get these fine
I love this record.
I love this record.
I love this record.
I
remember when it came out.
Walters on Washington. We
What?
the whole staff. We just reopened, and the whole staff went. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The old on. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is MGMT, the debut album.
Why did you call me?
I hadn't seen you in a while.
I guess so.
This is the first MGMT record, their debut record. This is available again. It has been available, but this is a very, and I will attest to it being very, 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 very bright pink vinyl pressing.
What was the first thing they released on here? I don't remember.
I think it's that first track.
What was the single? Time to Pretend? Yeah.
But the whole thing is pretty great and kind of proggy.
It was super, yeah, but really, they had their own sound. Like right when you heard it, I was like, what is this?
And super melodic. Like,
yeah, super melodic, absolutely.
Definitely connected with, and maybe because David Friedman produced it, but connected to the Lips. Kind of in a big way. I think this big flaming lips.
Okay, I got it.
Influence, but it's its own thing. You know,
it's its own thing, totally.
They're super cool. And we're gonna close with your out there heavy
nuttiness,
punk rock rap.
Oh, this is definitely
intense music. These are 3 albums. I think we featured this one before, but it's part of the.
I didn't realize they had 3 albums.
Oh yeah, they got a bunch.
Really?
The Record Store Day Essentials series they're doing all the Death Grips records, and so you get the power the power that is on I don't know what color vinyl that is.
Red.
It is red.
We've got one red colored album, The Power That Is.
This had been available from time to time, always sold out. Have not seen that on LP in years. And then you've got this one I think we featured before. This is half black, half white vinyl of The Money Store, which is kind of their, I mean, it's
the one I know.
That's the one that launched.
This is the one I know.
Band. And, you know, I think people are really attracted to the intensity and just grit and craziness of this manicness of this band.
They're even hard to describe.
They are.
Like if nobody's ever heard it.
You heard me struggle.
It is. It is. I remember the first time I heard him, I'd heard the name Death Grips, but I didn't know it was Death Grips. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah. When I was reading about them before the record came out, I was having to order the records, the first record, and everything that I read about them was like a different take. And I'm like, okay, this is really going to be pushing the envelope and be something. And it did. And fans love them. Finally, this, I don't think we've ever had this on LP. This is No Love Deep Web, and this is the 10th anniversary Essentials colored vinyl with an alternate artwork. And I think that sums up the band right there. Like guy looking like he's going to jump off a building.
Yeah.
Shooting double rods there.
Smoking a cigarette.
That's them. That's your Death Grips right there. And that's the wrap on all that stuff.
That's some flat out craziness. All right, so you asked me earlier. Here's your concert review. So got to see Metric the other night at House of Blues with Secret Machines opening from Dallas, Texas. Right, incredible. Secret Machines were fantastic. I thought Metric was great, start to finish. They did a lot of the new album, which is good because most of the new album is really, really good. And of course, songs you know, songs you love. They did all of those. But man, not a beat. There wasn't a minute to like sit down and take a breath in that set. They just killed it. So if you get a chance, they are on tour. Go see them. You will be happy that you did.
And I'm going to say the musicians are excited to see you there, and they are really giving it.
Absolutely.
Whatever show
absolutely.
You go see. These guys are so happy to be playing music.
Do you have anything on the list that you want to see coming up?
There was something for this weekend while I'm out. I can't remember what it was.
So a friend of mine drove to New Orleans to see Jack White.
Oh yeah,
that the sound was garbage. Apparently, whatever was happening at the board was like a lot of muffled, kind of like they were having trouble with something, and they could not get it right through the whole set. You know, and
that's surprising. The technology is so great, and you've got musicians touring with a sound engineer that's their guy. Certainly, as well heeled as he is, he's got his own guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then they're locking forces with whoever is the house sound engineer to make sure that they're familiar with.
Yeah, it's not 1979.
Yeah, you know? I mean, how does this happen? I mean, when I go to a show and I hear terrible sound, what is going on?
It's Ghost in the Machine. You know, it's got to be freaking Gremlins or something. I don't know. All right, guys, that is it for us. So I know we teased it last time that this would be the start of season 3. It is not. You got an extended finale of season 2. That's what you're watching here.
Bonus beats.
That's bonus, and we have a little something special for next week, and we'll tell you all about that when we get to next week. I'm Ruben Dominguez. That's Quinn Bishop. This is the Drop. We'll see you. Peace.
Show yet.